7, Neosho is receiving a state grant. We have the details on what the city plans to do with the funds.
Also, good news for TikTok users. The popular app stays online under a new ownership deal. Buyer experience won't change, but your data will be more secure. Details ahead.
And thunderstorms pushing through the area. Nothing severe, but an incredible amount of lightning with this activity. Details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday, September the 23rd. A little darker in here. Right before we came on, lightning hit our tower directly. Yes. We have backup generators, but they don't protect us from direct lightning hits, so it's kind of messed with a few things here in the studio, so just bear with us on that. But that is back to that sign we've been talking about all morning on the KOAM side. This lightning is dangerous and deadly. While we don't have warnings, it's still very dangerous. You don't want to be messing around as you head out the door this morning. We're going to get to all those storms in just a moment, but we're switching. There it goes again. All right, we are going to switch gears if we can, if the weather will allow us. Flooding. One of the first things I covered here at KOAM was the flooding in Neosho in 2017.
Yes, the city of Neosho receives a nearly $2 million grant from the state of Missouri to improve flood-prone areas. The city is one of 15 Missouri communities receiving grants totaling more than $16 million from the state's Community Development Block Grant Program.
KOAM's Blake Gully shows us how this funding will impact the Neosho community.
Over the years, Neosho has been hit by storms that left several parts of the city underwater. Thanks to the Community Development Block Grant Program, the city plans to build new retention ponds to slow down stormwater and help reduce flooding.
These ponds will help reduce the flooding along one of our main business areas, the Neosho Boulevard, along with some other projects that we're working on the other end of that floodplain.
Businesses in this area have seen firsthand how the water behind me can overflow and cause issues. And city officials believe the new retention ponds will help ease the impact in the future.
When we do these, what would normally be maybe let's just say a 50-foot channel, if we can get that channel to only fill 25 of those 50 feet, well, everything in those 25 feet on either that are now outside the floodplain no longer has to have flood insurance.
The improvements are welcome news for Neosho Christian School, which has also dealt with the floodwaters.
It's come all the way up to this gravel area before, and we have a hard time with our ditch that's back here flooding, and then the debris will back up. We have to call the city to come out and clean it up, and so it'll just help our area look a lot better.
The new retention ponds aim to improve both the safety and the look of Neosho. Reporting from Neosho, Missouri, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
The city of Neosho is currently in the early stages of planning and hopes to have the project complete by July of 2026.
Of course, a lot to have taken care of down there. That flooding back then, it was truly flash flooding. The waters rose very quickly and then we're gone again. So hopefully this will help out. And this morning, dealing with our own new thunderstorm chances. We're going to start a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. So again, we've got this thunderstorm pushing through. And as I've mentioned, there's been nothing severe with this activity so far in our area this morning, but these storms producing an incredible amount of lightning. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin. You can see wet roadways down there. We're going to get right in. Again, quick look, nothing strong, nothing severe. No watches, no warnings out there, but this lightning is just absolutely incredible. We've got about 500 lightning strikes in our region. So what you're looking at, stretching all the way to Wichita, counting that as well, it's about 500 lightning strikes. But here, just so you get an idea, our station is located right about at the heart of all these lightning strikes. We have a 1,000-foot lightning rod out there, and it has drawn in several of the lightning strikes, which is why we've had a few issues here. But that's the thing. These thunderstorms may not be severe. This lightning's still dangerous. It is still deadly out there as well. You've got to play it safe. Get the kids to school safely. Get yourself to work safely. We have thunderstorms stretching Mount Vernon back toward Red Oak, north of Carthage, getting into Jasper. This one moving out of Pittsburgh now, but we had this one developed almost right over Columbus and is lifting northeast, approaching there we go again, another lightning strike there. So hopefully you folks at home are still with us. We've got those thunderstorms there. Wow. So I can't emphasize enough the danger of the lightning. Thunderstorms now rolling into the Miami area. A lot of lightning with these storms. We stretch back down, look toward Langley, southwest of Grove, Chelsea, the Wada. It's just an incredible amount of lightning with these storms. And it is very dangerous. It is still very deadly. You've got to make sure that you're taking appropriate precautions. I got to restart one of my screens over here. Again, nothing severe yet, but that chance is still there. Give us a second. Like I said, it's a 1,000-foot lightning rod we have out there, and it seems to be drawing quite a bit of lightning right now. Let's see. Okay, I can see myself over there. That's a step. There we go. Here's what we're looking at. This is the risk areas we have for the potential. We do have a tornado risk out there later today. This is heading into this afternoon, really. Then we have the concerns for large to very large hail and for damaging wind gusts across the area as well. So on to the future track, so long as we can stay with you here. The complex we're dealing with this morning should be east of I-49 by the lunch hour, but then we'll get new development back behind this. And as it develops, it will have the potential to be strong to severe. And we're looking at least current data suggesting possibly 2 lines of storms. One developing into southeast Kansas around 2 or 3 o'clock, and then this one around the same time along and south of I-44. Now, the greater severe concern is going to be with this cluster here. But these could also be strong to severe, and this all will push through. Once we get past about 8, 9 o'clock, our severe threat will begin to drop. We might even get some breaks in the thunderstorms before we see more overnight. But the good news is, overnight tonight into our Wednesday, while we still have storm chances, the severe threat, we don't have any risk areas highlighted heading into tomorrow. We also have flood watches again through tomorrow morning at the latest out there because of all of this heavy rain. And as we look at our temperatures, still look even where it's been raining, mid-70s in some locations. We still have this unstable air mass in place that's going to continue to fuel these storms out there as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. So the thing is, though, is our temperatures where a lot of them are now, that's maybe as warm as any of us get, going into the mid-70s with these thunderstorms continuing through the day, west winds at 5 to 10. Again, we do not have any active warnings at this point. If anything changes, we will certainly let you know. For now, we're going to send it back to Elise. We'll have a full look at your forecast in just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks. Well, 4 soldiers are dead after a Black Hawk helicopter crashed near Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State last week. Among the victims is Chief Warrant Officer Andrew Culley from Sparta, Missouri. The 35-year-old trained at Camp Crowder in Neosho during his early 20s and graduated from the Missouri National Guard's Air Assault School in 2012. Culley was commissioned as an Army aviation officer from Missouri State University in 2013. All 4 soldiers were part of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment when their helicopter crashed during a routine training flight last Wednesday. President Trump is expected to approve a proposed deal this week that would ensure TikTok in the United States is majority owned by American investors and keeps user data in a trusted cloud in the U.S. Mark Meredith has more.
TikTok lives on. The Trump administration says the popular social media platform will remain in business as it announces a deal to transfer the app from Chinese company ByteDance to U.S. ownership.
This is great news, not just for the millions of American youth who use TikTok. Their data will be safe and secure with this new deal. They'll continue to use this very fun app.
For years, Washington has wrestled with how to salvage the app while keeping its successful but addictive content recommendation algorithm. Under this new deal, cloud computing firm Oracle will provide app security in the U.S., operating a form of the algorithm outside of ByteDance's control.
They're going to get a copy of the code from the Chinese for some fee. Then they're going to go in and strip out all of the spyware and guarantee to members of Congress, of which there are many China hawks, that they can monitor every packet of information leaving the server and say where it's going.
While officials say foreign influence will be removed, the platform will still connect people around the world.
TikTok will remain globally interoperable, meaning TikTok users in the U.S. will be able to see videos posted by users in other countries and vice versa.
Under the agreement, existing investors and a group of new U.S. backers would together own roughly 80% of the company.
Really great people, very prominent people, and they're also American patriots. You know, they love this country, so I think they're going to do a really good job.
And if you're already a TikTok user, you won't see any major changes. The ownership transfer is designed to be seamless, so you shouldn't have to download a new version of the app. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Charlene Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission joins us to make banana oatmeal muffins. And later, one-click purchases become a parenting nightmare. Children are racking up charges that exceed their monthly allowance. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Time now 7:10. We'll be right back.
It's September and only at High Winds.
This morning, we're joined by our good friend Charlene Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission. We've been making some really tasty breakfast recipes in the month of September. Charlene, happy to have you.
Thank you.
So tell me about the recipe we're making today. We're making a banana oatmeal muffin.
We are, and boy, this is such a great recipe. It seems like bananas make that muffin so moist
really
and
do.
tasty. And then we're getting the extra goodness with the oatmeal. But we're going to start, I've already added the flour in here, and then I'll let you start with the oatmeal. We have a half a cup of oatmeal, a half a cup of granulated sugar, and then we have baking powder, baking soda, a little bit of salt in there, and I'll mix that all together. And you know, when you're making muffins, it's really a two-step process.
Right.
The dry ingredients, and then we have the liquid ingredients. A great recipe to get kids started baking too. All right, I've got 1 egg in here. You're going to add the bananas. Sorry. It actually doesn't really matter which order we do these in.
There we go.
I smashed that. That was one banana. And then you have our soy products, or we have a half a cup of vegetable oil there. And we know that the only ingredient in there is soybeans and vegetable oil. And then we have the vanilla soy milk there. You could use vanilla or plain, whichever you wanted to. Now, just mix that up, and then we're going to add that into our dry ingredients. Easy there, okay? And then a good tip to tell your children, if they're helping you, is as they stir this, because kids love to stir, right, is just mix it until you don't see any flour. Because if you over mix muffins, you'll get a tough muffin. So once you don't see any flour, then put your spoon down. We'll stop there. Then these will make 12 really nice muffins. And I like, and this is good for kids too, use the dipper because it's easy to portion it out. Put them either in muffin cups, liners, or you grease your muffin tin.
Of course.
Bake that at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes, and use a wooden pick to check and make sure that it comes out clean, and you'll know they're done and ready to eat.
Wonderful. Well, as always, these look fantastic. Charlene, if people want to find the recipe for these muffins or any of those delicious breakfast recipes we've been making this month, where can they do so?
Yes. Go to our website at kansassoybeans.org. Call our 800 number, 877-KS-SOYBEAN. We'll have all the recipes for September, but we also have an archive there of all the recipes that we've done. So if anyone wants to go back and find another recipe from another year or sometime, they can do that.
That's fantastic. Well, Charlene, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Regular lenses for only $79.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:18 coming up on 7:19 on this Tuesday morning on what's been a stormy morning. Nothing severe, and as you can see, no watches, no warnings in our area right now, but these storms producing just an incredible amount of lightning. The station here, we took a few direct lightning strikes at the start of the show as this storm rolled through Cherokee County. So we're going to start again back into southwest Missouri. We've got some thunderstorms, heavier rain from Mount Vernon back up toward Jasper, Carthage, Joplin out there just north of Monette, getting getting into the Neosho area. Just doing a quick lightning count on this zone here. We're at 79 lightning strikes. We're going to head southwest into northeastern Oklahoma, where we are getting some pretty heavy thunderstorms now through the Miami area, Veneta Grove, so Ottawa County, Craig County, moving through Delaware County. And again, just in this area, just kind of get you guys an idea as to what we're talking about with this lightning. That's 222 lightning strikes in that zone alone into northeastern Oklahoma. 222. The lightning, doesn't matter if these storms are strong or severe, that lightning is dangerous, it is deadly, and as you're heading out the door this morning, just make sure that you're not dilly-dallying outside. You're not messing around, you're getting where you need to go as quickly as possible. Back up into southeastern Kansas, most of the thunderstorm activity, at least for now, is rolling out. We're dealing with some moderate rainfall out there. Same around Lamar area, still some rumbles of thunder. Nevada, same thing, some rumbles of thunder. Moderate rainfall, Girard, Erie, Chanute, Fort Scott, Iola, back toward Yates Center, Garnett, Mount City, Burlington. Little pauses out here. We got a little thunderstorm entering Coffeyville and Montgomery County. Some light showers here. The next thing we're keeping an eye on is this activity. It's approaching the I-35 corridor in south central Kansas around Wichita as it continues to push off to the east. So here's what we are looking at. We've got these thunderstorms that have picked up into northeastern Oklahoma. It's where the bulk of our heavier thunderstorm activity is. We've got this complex that's lifting out, and then take a look at the new development that's taken place from Bates County up to the south side of the Kansas City metro. We have the environment for these thunderstorms. Whether they become severe even this morning or not, it doesn't matter. We have the right environment to at least support these thunderstorms, and they are very electrical storms at that. And we've got the risk for strong to severe thunderstorms from this morning through the afternoon into the early evening hours before it starts to wind down by late evening. That does include a tornado risk across the area, so a tornado or two cannot be ruled out. And then we also have the concerns for large to potentially very large hail and for damaging wind gusts out there as well. And some of these storms have already produced some gusty winds. All of what we've seen so far in our area has been below severe limits, but we have had these thunderstorms, and they've been a pretty loud wake-up call, I think, for some folks as we've gotten this day started. By noon, the complex that we're dealing with now should be east of I-49, but then we'll start seeing new development taking place across southeastern Kansas and eventually in the northeastern Oklahoma by this afternoon. So what we're looking at is the potential, at least, for two lines of storms. This one developing in southeast Kansas around 2-3 o'clock. This one's just getting started here by Veneta. It'll be along and south of I-44. Now, if this plays out as you see, the greatest severe concern will be south of I-44, which is why those areas have the level 2 out of 5 risk the further south you get. But we could also get a line of strong to severe storms pushing through southeast Kansas through the evening, eventually into southwest Missouri. Now, once we get past about 8-9 o'clock, scattered storms out there, yes, but the severe threat should be winding down. Then we'll continue with scattered thunderstorms overnight and throughout the day on Wednesday. So as you can see, not as widespread as what we're getting this morning, but scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing through tomorrow into the evening hours, and then overnight the system finally exits and leaves us dry for our Thursday. We also have flood watches for a good portion of the area. The latest of these run through tomorrow morning. All right, you can see the heavy rain in Joplin right now. Thunderstorms through the morning, and we should be just hovering into the low 70s through the morning hours. I think for most of us, we're going to reach about the mid 70s, and that's going to be it. Some of you are already as warm as you're going to get. The rain cloud cover should keep us cool. Same tomorrow, mid 70s, and then Thursday, mid to upper 70s, and we'll go in the low to mid 80s heading into the weekend. Let's check your forecast. Of course, any watches or warnings are issued, we will certainly let you know. Otherwise, we will be back with more of the KOAN Morning News right after this.
Damn eager and willing to collaborate with them.
Well, new research found that more kids are making purchases without their parents' consent. Fox's Jennifer Williams has more.
We don't want to, limit children from interacting in the world because electronic payments are here and are a part of, everyday life. But we do want to impose rules and guidelines.
According to a Talker Research survey of 2,000 parents, 72% say their kids don't understand money's true value now that it's gone digital.
We have a responsibility as parents to also teach our children about the big ticket items so that even with that one click, they might think, oh, I can get that pair of sneakers or I can get that Apple iWatch. You have to save up money. You cannot just go purchase on your parents' credit card.
The study also revealed nearly 1/3 1/3 of those parents have caught their children making unauthorized online purchases, with each incident averaging a whopping $170, well over the average monthly allowance of $100.
I would say monthly 25. So I don't give allowances. I make them work for chores. So, yeah, I don't. $20 a week then?
Kids aren't buying just video games and clothing. Parents are reporting that they are spending big money on tech like computers, smartphones, and smartwatches. Some parents have even reported that their kids have purchased stocks and cryptocurrency.
They want it because TikTok or whoever is telling them they have to have it because the next person that they're all following, is getting paid millions of dollars to promote it. But I think that, again, as a parent, it's our conversation to have with them. Put that in the cart and do not press purchase until mom or dad or our caregiver sees that purchase and says yes.
Despite the financial risk, 23% of parents rarely monitor their children's digital spending. But experts say that's the key.
The only other tip I would give to parents is to not freak out about it and to really make sure that you actually do use it as a teaching moment.
In Midtown, Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
All right, definitely some important reminders there. And coming up, a program at Crowder College hopes to encourage the next generation of great writers.
And we're continuing to track thunderstorms across the area and a severe threat as we roll into the late morning and early afternoon hours. Details when we come back.
Dear Savvy. The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, the deadline to register for a program inspiring the next great American writers is fast approaching. Crowder College's Young Authors Conference and Book Writing Contest hopes to encourage young students to put pen to paper and unleash their creativity. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on what the program has to offer.
We're hoping to inspire them.
Inspiration is the driving force behind Crowder College's Young Author Conference and Book Writing Contest, now entering its 3rd year.
Students write better and are more excited about writing when they have an audience, when they know somebody is going to look at their writing, read their writing, be excited and celebrate their writing. So by hosting a competition and a conference, we're providing that audience.
Both the contest and conference are open to any student between 2nd and 4th grade, whether they're in public, private, or even homeschooled.
Really trying to include our entire region, any of the counties of Vernon, Jasper, Newton, McDonald, or Berry.
Crowder sends information and curriculum ideas to participating classrooms, asking them to have their students write and illustrate an original story.
We ask them to pick their top 3. Then our education students judge each one of the stories, and then we choose the top 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade writers.
In May, every student participating in the program is invited to the Young Authors Conference, where they can meet local authors, learn how to improve, and hopefully be inspired by the power of writing.
Hearing young kids ask our guest speakers how did they become published authors themselves, it just inspires us to keep going.
Because they know the skills of reading and writing can have a big impact.
More likely to successfully graduate high school, to graduate from college, and so we know that those foundational skills of reading and writing really can change the trajectory of a student's life.
Reporting in the O Show, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, Crowder staff know a passion for writing knows no age limit. They also offer the Crowder Quill, an annual literary and art competition that serves high school students through adults. And the Joplin Health Department looks to make the community a little bit healthier. At 104 beats per minute, the department is offering CPR classes for the public through December. Now, these 3 CPR classes will be held each month for people of all skill levels. In addition to hands-on CPR, the department will also offer training in the use of an automated defibrillator. For more information, including schedule and how to register, just head over to KOAMNewsNow.com. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got thunderstorms continuing to push through the area this morning. Downtown Pittsburgh, you can see it's still wet, still getting some rain, but some of the heavier thunderstorm activity has eased up. Got very heavy rain falling through Joplin. which has led to some reduced visibilities, which you can see from the MoDOT camera there. No watches, no warnings active in our area as of right now, but that is subject to change as the day goes on. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we got a pretty hefty thunderstorm now crossing the state line just south of Seneca into parts of McDonald and Newton counties coming out of Ottawa County. Quite a bit of lightning. And that's been really the big concern is the lightning with these storms. This zone here, that's 54 strikes in just a confined area there. So that's why you've got to play it safe. You know, be careful with this lightning. It is dangerous. It is deadly. It does not matter if these storms are strong or severe or not. That lightning's still a problem. Heavy rain rolling out of Joplin progressively, but stretching back down from Diamond to Newtonia, back toward Monette, Aurora, back northeast up into Halltown, Mount Vernon. Carthage, you're in the middle of one of these thunderstorms. Got some heavier rain around Jasper, getting ready to roll into Golden City and Lamar. So you kind of get the idea. The thunderstorms, at least in the northern portion, have wound down a bit with the exception of Bates County and around Harrisonville. I know it's outside of our immediate area, but these storms, look at how quickly, just going from 6:53 to now, look how quickly those guys flared up there. And then down into northeastern Oklahoma, Craig, Delaware counties, Ottawa County, still getting in on very heavy rain, very heavy thunderstorms out there. Again, nothing severe, but a lot of lightning with these storms is the concern. Now, parts of southeast Kansas, just some scattered showers for now, but we're watching all of this activity. It's along I-35 out toward Wichita. Will eventually bring in the next round of showers and thunderstorms for us, and we still have that severe threat out there as well as all this continues to lift east-northeast throughout the morning and into the afternoon. Here's a look at our current risk areas. We do have still isolated to scattered risk for tornadoes, so an isolated tornado is not out of the question. The risk is low, but it is there. We also have concerns for large to very large hail and for damaging wind gusts out there as well. By noon on the future track, the complex we're dealing with this morning should be east of I-49, but then we'll see new development, possibly a couple of different lines of strong to severe thunderstorms. The greatest concern right now south of I-44. As these storms push through, that severe threat will continue, and after about 8, 9 o'clock, our severe threat winds down. Flood watches again for a good portion of the area through at least tomorrow morning for some of these, and our temperatures still quite mild. Many of us, where you are now, is as warm as you're going to be, as we're in the low to mid 70s in some locations, upper 60s where the rain has been falling. So low mid 70s for our highs today. Thunderstorms continuing throughout the day with the west wind outside of any storms at 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll continue to monitor the storms this morning. If any of them become severe, we will certainly let you know. While more on the other storms we're expecting today into tomorrow in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Pittsburgh State University launches 2 new degree programs focused on supply chains. Getting raw material from one point to another is a specialized set of knowledge. KOAM's Ty Park shows us how these programs will prepare students for high-demand careers in global logistics.
State University is unveiling 2 new degree programs centered on supply chains and industrial demands.
Supply chain, it's always been a critical part of of how we move goods and services across this country and across the world. And it's been part of our education in the Kels College of Business. Now we've just organized it and have added a few things. But getting a product from its inception, from the raw materials to us as final consumers, is a critical element, and it's complex and it's interesting and it's fun. It's a big part of what moves this country.
The supply chain side will focus on the management side with an understanding of the geopolitics that affect the supply chain. It is that global viewpoint that sets this degree apart from other business degrees.
It's specialization. Students become they become aware of the issues and the problems, so they're ready to hit the ground running and take a further leap, get where they want to go faster by specializing in an area such as supply chain or marketing or any other program.
Both degree paths are looking for the same type of student.
So we're looking for students who are problem solvers. We're looking for students who are critical thinkers. Really we're looking for students who, when everyone else is just seeing a bunch of dots, they see lines between those dots. That's really what they're looking at. They're looking at making connections. They're looking at solving problems.
In Pittsburgh, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Now, the technology side focuses on modes of transportation and automation from AI to robotics. Enrollment is open for both degree plans now. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The next generation of space explorers reports for duty. NASA's newest astronaut class begins training with Mars missions in their sights.
Hey 4 States, Chris here with Windows and More
Warranty. We are the best bang for your buck.
Well, they've come so far, but their adventures are just getting started. NASA welcomed its newest class of astronauts, setting them up for success as they reach to infinity and beyond. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at the 10 lucky members and their next steps.
Are you ready to meet the 24th group of astronaut candidates?
The competition was fierce. Out of more than 8,000 hopeful applicants shooting for the stars, only 10 were chosen to join NASA's newest class of astronauts.
She's an anesthesiologist from Copiague Falls, New York, Imelda Muller.
And for the first time, there's more women than men, with everyone eager to get to work.
We are pushing the boundaries of human performance.
I'm really excited to see everybody's strengths.
Only 370 people have ever been chosen by NASA as astronauts. And while this group joins 41 active U.S. astronauts currently serving, officials say one of these class members could make history.
One of these 10 could actually be one of the first Americans to put their boots on the Mars surface.
But even though the new class must now complete 2 years of training before they're eligible for spaceflight, astronauts on board the International Space Station are already giving them a warm welcome from the final frontier.
We wanted to offer a huge congratulations.
Meanwhile, in keeping with tradition, this new class will eventually be given a nickname as they help advance science and technology.
Your astronaut class is a very special group. That's why there's a tradition among astronauts that the newest astronaut class is named by the class before it. Our class was named by the turtles, who lovingly gave us the name the Flies because, among more humorous reasons, they hoped we would fly early. We look forward to getting to know your class so we can give you a name befitting your personalities.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Oh, what an incredible accomplishment, and I can't wait to see what they discover and explore. Let's take a look now at the market prices before the opening bell.
Day nights in September and only at High Winds.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News at 7:45 on this Tuesday morning. Again, no watches or warnings in our area at this time, but a number of thunderstorms out there producing, in some cases this morning, an incredible amount of lightning across the region. So we're going to start into southwestern Missouri, where we've got this complex. If your commute's taking you east on I-44 towards Springfield, you need to be prepared to slow down. Watch out for this heavy rain and these thunderstorms stretching from just south of Jasper into Carthage, along 44 toward Mount Vernon and Springfield, down as far south as 60 going into Monette. More thunderstorms and some heavier thunderstorms getting ready to roll into Goodman and the south sides of Neosho this morning, and then just to the west of Pineville as well. Grove, you are up next for some heavier thunderstorms. You've got some around Jay stretching back to the south there and along in the east out toward parts of northwestern Arkansas and into northwestern Benton County. Then we have additional storms here into Craig County, into Veneta. So if you're taking the Will Rogers Turnpike, really I-44 anywhere from about Tulsa to Springfield, if that's where your commute is, that's where we're looking at some of these heavier thunderstorms. Got some rumbles of thunder here now with this activity. It's just east of Coffeyville, heading back towards Chautauqua and Oswego. A few spotty showers out there, into Greenwood, Elk, and Chautauqua counties, and just some moderate rainfall now in Nevada, Lamar, Girard, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott up north. Still keeping an eye on this activity out to our west, just now to the east of I-35, as all of this continues to lift off east-northeast. And again, we haven't had any severe weather warnings in our immediate area all morning, but we've had a lot of lightning with these storms. In fact, the last storm that just came through the Cherokee County area right around 7, we took several direct hits from lightning on our towers, so it kind of messed with some things around here. You probably were with us when that happened. So that's why we say the lightning is dangerous, it's deadly. It doesn't matter if the storm is severe. That's not a factor at all. Lightning has nothing to do with the intensity of a storm in terms of it being severe or not. But it has everything to do with it being dangerous, and you've got to watch out and be cautious because, these have been very electrical storms throughout the morning. Here's our new update, though. This is due out at 8 a.m. It was updated just a few minutes ago, and some minor changes here, but they are somewhat concerning changes. We do have that level 2 out of 5 tornado risk has been lifted further north, right along the I-44 corridor and points south in all honesty, the changes that we're looking at here jive with what the future track has been showing us through the morning. But that is a concern. We certainly want to keep an eye on that. Additionally, we have the hail risk. Now, the significant hail risk has been removed, which is a plus, but we still have that. And then the wind risk also lifted further north, paralleling that tornado risk right along and south of I-44 for damaging wind gusts out there. So future track has hinted at a couple of different lines of storms. By noon, what we're dealing with now should be rolling east of I-49. We'll get new development off to the west. So we've got one line of storms by 3 trying to get going here into southeast Kansas. This is the one, and I mentioned it all morning long, it's the one with the greatest severe concern. It starts around Veneta, or close to, maybe not right there, but very close to. And as it rolls east, you can see this big complex of storms out here. And this is where our greatest severe concern is going to be, is with these thunderstorms as they push off to the east-southeast. And then we'll have this line of storms pushing through southeastern Kansas by 5, rolling into southwest Missouri by 7 along the I-49 corridor, stretching back a little further to the west. And some of those could still be strong to severe as well. Then we start going more scattered storms late, and our severe threat winds down. And we're looking at scattered showers and storms as we go through the day on Wednesday by noon. Again, a few more of them out there. Not quite the same coverage today, but still showers, thunderstorms across the area as we head through the day Wednesday, and then late Wednesday, overnight into Thursday, we finally start to clear out a bit as we roll into Thursday. A reminder as well, we also have flood watches for a good portion of the area. The latest of these run through tomorrow morning. So scattered storms continuing. Some of these still could be strong to severe even through the morning hours. And we're just going to kind of hover in the low 70s out there. Our highs today about the mid 70s at best. We'll go mid 70s tomorrow as well. Upper 70s Thursday, and in the low to mid 80s rolling into the weekend. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, fall is finally here.
The first official day of fall was yesterday, which is the autumnal equinox. Night and day are the same length during the equinox. It happens twice a year, once in spring and once in autumn. So when do we get to see that fall foliage?
Well, the leaves are likely already changing in some places in states like Washington and Montana. Now, that's according to the 2025 fall foliage prediction map from SmokyMountains.com. Nearly all of the lower 48 should have leaves changing by October 27th, just in time for Halloween.
Of course, always very pretty around here when those leaves change color for
Great
sure. Well, today marks 179 years since Neptune was discovered.
The blue gas giant is almost 4 times larger than Earth. It orbits the sun once every 165 years. The 8th planet from the sun was discovered by German astronomer Johann Gottfried Galle at the Berlin Observatory on September 23rd, 1846.
So in the time since it's discovered, it's had the equivalent of 1 year. One orbit around the sun,
just
approximately.
about.
How about
Wow.
that? I didn't know it was that slow. Can you imagine if it took that long? If our year was 165. Boy, that would be a long year
It certainly
indeed.
would be.
I don't think we could deal with that.
I don't know.
Well, we've got thunderstorms pushing through the area today. We'll talk about those and have your wake up recap right after this.
This fall,
Ernest Perez, a 4-state hero.
Well, this is your wake up recap for September 23rd. The top stories to start your day. 4 soldiers are dead after a Black Hawk helicopter crashes during training in Washington state. Among the victims, a Sparta, Missouri soldier who trained in Neosho. Chief Warrant Officer Andrew Cully trained at Camp Crowder and graduated from Missouri State University. And Neosho is one of 15 Missouri communities receiving grants totaling more than $16 million from the state's Community Development Block Grant Program. The funding stems from recovery efforts following the 2017 presidentially declared disaster storms that impacted the region. Neosho's grant will build new retention ponds aimed at easing floodwaters that have damaged neighborhoods and businesses in the past. Galena residents can breathe easier about complaints about landfill odors. Environmental agencies find the smells aren't harmful and discover a way to reduce them. Authorities say as a result of the investigation, lime was added to the landfill to mitigate the smell, and that addition has proved successful. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we've still got thunderstorms and rain rolling through the area, watching for the potential for more development out there. All of this continuing to lift off to the east-northeast. Nothing severe at this point, but we do have that severe threat later today where we have the isolated to scattered tornado risk across the southern portions of our area, and the same for some large hail and damaging wind gusts as the primary concern out there. Otherwise, thunderstorms through the day, mid-70s tomorrow, scattered storms tonight into tomorrow, but no severe threat expected with those thunderstorms. And then we'll dry out Thursday, upper 70s, and going into low to mid 80s by the weekend.
All right, well, 5 new cheetah cubs are made their public debut at the St. Louis Zoo last week. Now, while only 4 months old, the zoo says the cubs already have distinct personalities. They were born on May 5th to parents Cora and Vader, who are named after Star Wars characters. According to one of the zoo's curators, the 3 baby males and 2 females are also lively and curious.
Now, visitors will be able to visit the cubs, though they will only be out for short periods of time as they adjust to their new living spaces. Very cute.
Yeah, it's adorable.
I've seen videos. Cheetahs, if they meow, they sound much more like a house cat than
a
wild animal or anything like that. Doesn't mean they're still super friendly by any means, but it's just interesting.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we'll continue to track these storms this morning. Any warnings or watches pop up, we will let you know, and we'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.